Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, and yet their passport has gotten slightly better over the past 3 years. They lost access to most of Europe, but somehow added more visa-free countries. How does that even happen? This is part 11 of my series ranking every passport in the world. Number 50 is Qatar. Qatar is rich, connected, and home to one of the world's top airports, and its passport is finally starting to reflect that. You can get into the US, UK, and Japan with an ETA, and it's visa-free or easy entry to most of South America and Asia. Number 49 is Turkey and Russia. Turkey's in a tricky spot. It's part of NATO and has visa-free access to places like Japan and almost all of Latin America, but it's completely shut out of the US, Canada, and the entire Schengen area. Their political tension really limits its reach. Russia's passport isn't weak, it just isn't really strong. There's no access to the Schengen zone, US, or Japan, but Russia still has strong ties with Latin America, much of Asia, and Africa. It's actually gained 2 countries visa-free since 2022, even with the war. Number 48 is Venezuela. Venezuela's passport surprisingly gets you into most of Europe without a visa, but beyond that, things drop off fast. Political instability back home hasn't helped its global reputation. Number 47 is Moldova. Moldova's passport is quietly becoming powerful in Europe. Even though it's not in the EU, Moldovans can travel visa-free through almost the entire Schengen zone, a perk from years of EU alignment and visa liberation talks. Number 46 is Albania. Albania gets to almost all of Europe, but it struggles basically everywhere else. Countries like the US, Canada, and Australia still require visas. Even though it's in talks to join the EU, passport strength hasn't really caught up yet. Number 45 is Georgia, Kiribati, Micronesia, and Palau. Georgia has potentially the greenest map we've seen yet. They have visa-free access to most of Europe, Asia, and South America, a result of deep diplomatic relationships and a push towards EU integration. Kiribati citizens don't get access to US or Mexico, which immediately sets it behind its neighbors, but it still gets the EU, South Korea, and a handful of Latin American countries. Not bad for a country most people couldn't find on a map. Micronesia builds on what Kiribati gets, with the US, Mexico, the full EU, and South Korea all visa-free. It does a decent job of hitting most of the world's top destinations. Palau's passport looks a lot like Micronesia's. Visa-free access to the US, Mexico, and most of Europe, but it adds one surprising wrinkle: visa-free entry to Russia. This is thanks to a one-off bilateral travel agreement. For a country with fewer than 20,000 residents, it's a pretty dang solid passport. Thanks for watching part 11. I'll see you in part 12.